Raider Nation, what's going on? You're watching the Raiders Report, brought to you by BetDSI, the internet's #1 sportsbook. I got a fun show on tap today. I have 6 Raiders rumors that I'm telling you right now you cannot afford to miss. And the first 2, you're going to be like, Mitch, come on. But I'm going to squash the rumors before they get started. Make sure you guys subscribe at youtube.com/Raiders Report because, humble brag here, #1 show on YouTube for all Raiders news and rumors. Let's get in now to some of those rumors here. Jon Gruden is on the hot seat. I'm squashing this one before it even gets started. This one's zero Chucky heads. Tuck rule, tuck that. Now, some clown who I refuse to name because I don't really believe in giving credit to just BS type of articles out there. So some guy, probably a Broncos fan if I had to guess, wrote an article on NFL coaches on the hot seat and listed Jon Gruden as a potential coach on the hot seat, basically going into detail, if the Raiders struggle again in 2019, Jon's going to be on the way out. No, it's not going to happen. I mean, they signed Jon Gruden to 10 years, $100 million, just because, let's say, the Raiders struggle this year. I get it. The hype around the Raiders is real. But Jon Gruden isn't going anywhere. The guy's not going anywhere. So I'm tucking this one. This one's tuck rule, tuck that. But I'm going to ask everyone, because this show is not just about me. Is Jon Gruden on the hot seat if the Raiders miss the playoffs? I want you to type Y for yes or type N for no. So if you're watching on YouTube, if you're watching on Facebook, I want you to get in those comments below. Y for yes, N for no. Is Jon Gruden on the hot seat if the Raiders miss the playoffs? Now, you're watching Raiders Rumors here on the Raiders Report here, youtube.com/Chat Sports. Oh, boy. youtube.com/Raiders Report. And before I get into this next rumor here, you guys ready? You ready? Raiders trading for Le'Veon Bell. We're back to it. We're back to talking about trading for Le'Veon Bell. This one's again, zero Chucky heads, tuck rule, tuck that. For the first time in the Raiders Report history, 2 tuck rule, tuck that to start off the show. And I saw this rumor out there. And Forbes, you guys should stop writing stuff about the NFL because this is just bad quality. Now, there was an article that was released that basically said that teams that could go out and trade for Le'Veon Bell, and they list the Oakland Raiders. Now, I'm sure you guys subscribe to our main Chat Sports channel because there's a report out there that the Jets could trade Le'Veon because Adam Gase doesn't necessarily like Le'Veon. That's not 100% true. The words were a little bit twisted. Adam Gase said that he thinks that the Jets overpaid for Le'Veon. We know Le'Veon's a talented running back. But the issue with this entire article is, why in the heck would the Raiders go out and trade for Le'Veon Bell when you draft Josh Jacobs in the first round? I get it. 2017, he was great. 2016, Le'Veon Bell was great. I would have argued that he was the best running back in the NFL. But we just drafted Josh Jacobs, who I think the ceiling there is extremely high. Now, I will say this, okay? I will say this. The Jets have already paid Le'Veon Bell $12 million. So, technically, if the Raiders would go out and trade for him, they would only be committed to $40 million, which is cheaper for Le'Veon. But when you go out and get Josh Jacobs, this would make absolutely no sense for me for then the Raiders to go out and trade for Le'Veon Bell. But Le'Veon Bell or Josh Jacobs, I know the hype around Jacobs is real. I'm always looking at the comments. I'm seeing what you guys are saying. More touchdowns in 2019. Josh Jacobs or Le'Veon Bell. I want you to type J for Jacobs or B for Bell. Don't be a homer. Don't be a homer. I want you to answer honestly. Be an overachiever. Tell me how many touchdowns Josh Jacobs is going to score. Tell me how many Le'Veon Bell is going to score in the comments section. And if you want to know what I think, you know what you guys got to do. Slide in on those DMs at Mitchell Renz 365. Today's featured drink is Oak and Eden Craft Whiskey. You guys know that I love craft beer. I'm trying to get into this new thing right now. Craft whiskey. I like blondes. I'm also starting to get into brunettes too. But craft whiskey is where it's at. And I don't know if you guys can tell this. I got this yesterday, and producer Alicia liked it almost as much as I do. I got nothing left in here, so I'm going to finish pouring out my drink here. Shout out to Oak and Eden. They've hooked us up with some awesome drinks here at Chat Sports. And if you guys want to try some of this Oak and Eden craft whiskey, this is what you got to do. You got to type Oak in the comment section. I'm going to finish this off because this is going to be way too good. As I spill maybe a little bit here on studio. Don't tell my boss, James Yoder. He might get mad at me. But if you guys like craft whiskey, check out Oak and Eden. Go give them a follow on Instagram and on Twitter because they're providing the creative juices here at the Raiders Report. I need to create Hey, I need a sip. Hang on. Oh, that is smooth. Smooth. About as smooth as me from the neck down, if you know what I mean. Let's go to this next rumor. Raiders on Hard Knocks. Hard Knocks? More Hard Knocks talk. Yeah, you got it. This one's 2 Chucky heads, and people are talking. I came on the show about 2 weeks ago, talked about the Raiders being on Hard Knocks, and between you and me, there is not a more entertaining team in the NFL right now than the Oakland Raiders, and you can't tell me otherwise. But there are still 5 teams that are in contention right now to be on Hard Knocks, and right now the report is that the Redskins are the favorites to be on the show. The NFL is taking its time right now because apparently it's the 100th year. They want to go big on this, and I don't quite understand how it's so difficult for us to not put the Raiders on. But luckily, somebody released some odds on which teams could be on Hard Knocks. You have the Washington Redskins at plus 125, the Oakland Raiders at plus 250, the New York Giants at plus 300, the Detroit Lions at plus 350, and then the 49ers at plus 900. If any team not named the Oakland Raiders is on Hard Knocks, I am going to be very, very disappointed for 2 reasons. One, if Hard Knocks doesn't put the Raiders on this year, that means that they're not going to make the playoffs. That's what that means. That means Hard Knocks doesn't think the Raiders will be in the playoffs this year. That's the only way, because you can't honestly tell me that Dwayne Haskins and the Redskins are more entertaining than the Raiders. You can't tell me that Eli Manning and Daniel Jones is more entertaining than Antonio Brown, Vontaze Burfict, Derek Carr. You can't tell me it. Sorry, that one's 0 Chucky. It's tuck rule. Tuck that. But I'm going to ask everyone here. Do you honestly want the Raiders to be on Hard Knocks? I want you to type 1 for yes, type 2 for no. Simple. Facebook, YouTube, do it below. Raiders on Hard Knocks in 2019. If you guys want to see a never-before-seen edition of Hard Knocks 2019, slide in my DMs because Tom Downey's wedding, Hard Knocks. It deals with some black holes, if you know what I'm saying. Gonna give a shout-out to today's sponsor, BetDSI. Tom, loving having you back, my man. Go to chatsports.com/bet. Use that promo code Raiders120 for 120% deposit bonus. You put down $50, you get $60 for free. If you put down $100, you're going to get $120 for free. If you put down $500, you'll get $600 for free. Shout out to BetDSI and Oakland, hooking me up here at Chat Sports. You ready for some more rumors? I know I am. Are the Raiders interested in Gerald McCoy? I'm going to give this one only 1 Chucky head, and I think it's a small shred of truth. Now, Gerald McCoy's 31 years old. He was recently just released by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and then the Buccaneers just were like, you know what, Gerald, we're going to go out and get Ndamukong Suh now. When I look at Gerald McCoy, sure, he's still a talented player, but defensive tackle just isn't a huge need for the Raiders, and I get it, guys. We had only 13 sacks last year. Gerald McCoy at his peak was probably racking up 13 sacks in his own. I just don't quite understand the fit with Gerald McCoy coming on over. Now, I recently talked about Gerald McCoy on a recent show, and I did a poll out there, would you guys want Gerald McCoy? And 70% of y'all said that, yeah, you would want Gerald McCoy on the team. And I also saw an article out there that compared Gerald McCoy to Richard Seymour when the Raiders went out in 2009 and got Richard Seymour for a first-round pick. That's totally different. Richard Seymour was still playing at an elite level. Gerald McCoy saw a bit of a drop-off, and I think the main reason why he got cut by the Bucs is because he wanted to get paid. You're not getting paid $13 million. Now, when I think about the overall fit, sure, you can still add defensive tackle. You can still add a lot of depth there on that defensive line because we still need help. But I ultimately do not believe Gerald McCoy. The Raiders have interest in him because of the age. We're going in this youth movement. Let's believe in what we got. We brought back Hankins. We got Mo Hurst there. McCoy, you're a good player, but personally, I don't really want to see you in silver and black. So you know what I'm going to say for this one. Should the Raiders sign Gerald McCoy? Type 4 for believe it, baby. Type 0 for tuck rule. Tuck that. I'm going to give my 0 for tuck rule. Tuck that. But come on, nation. What you got in those comments section? Let's go to this next rumor. It's around Antonio Brown. And is he impressing me this offseason? Yeah, dude is. 4 Chucky heads. Believe it, baby. And the thing that I love about what Antonio Brown has done the most this offseason is he has embraced being in Oakland. He has embraced Raider Nation. And what I hear and what I see that AB and Derek Carr are building some serious chemistry, which I think we need to see because I don't think Amari Cooper's a bad receiver. I think he's shown that he's a very good receiver in Dallas. But Amari and Derek never had chemistry. And if AB and Derek Carr can work on that chemistry, kind of like we saw with Jared Cook, we could see a big, big year out of AB, and I'm really, really hoping that. The other thing I'm going to tip my cap to for AB, he's at OTAs. OBJ just got traded to the Browns. He's not there. Le'Veon Bell, Jets, he's not there. Antonio Brown, I get it. He's a diva. They call him Mr. Big Chest. He's got a lot of things going on. But at least this guy's showing up. And Jon Gruden, before he even went out and got Antonio Brown, said this guy's the hardest working dude in the NFL. I like it. I'm all about it. So, over under 1,250 receiving yards for Antonio Brown in 2019. Which type O for over and type U for under. What do you guys think? You want to know what I think? See that down there on Twitter? At Mitchell Renz 365. Slide in my DMs. I'll give you the exact stats that I think Antonio Brown is going to have in 2019. I got a question for everybody who's watching the show. What did you do this weekend? And I asked it, and I love when you guys interact with me on YouTube. I know you guys always interact with me everywhere here on Chat Sports. But Dead Raider says he played disc golf. I am terrible at all kinds of golf, but I've never tried disc golf. So, Dead Raider, if anytime you want to play disc golf, you let me know. Belorado Anthony, I don't know what you just said, Tom. Mitchell Renz went fishing with a couple friends because it wasn't too hot. Did you catch anything? Did you catch any fish? Let me know. Send me some pics. Last one here. What did you do this weekend? Raider Nation for life. Boy, you play Madden. I personally don't play Madden. I've only played Madden a few times, I would say, in the last few years. But if you want to challenge anybody on Madden, go slide in on Tom's DMs at WhatGoingDowny. Now, I'm going to need to take a drink here, guys. I got to get these creative juices flowing again. So hang on. My throat's kind of killing me. If you guys want to try this Oak and Eden, like I said, slide in my DMs at Mitchell Renz 365. Now, I asked you guys what you did this weekend. Do you guys want to know what I did this weekend? Because I had some fun. Now, I want to give a special shout out to my dude Alex, who's the manager at Matitos here in DFW. And there's a party on June 1st. So, entire nation, okay? From all around the world, but especially the people here in Dallas or in the DFW area, if you want to come party with me and about 50 other diehard Raider fans, you need to go to Matitos, and if you need to know what the address is, it's 1001 MacArthur Park Drive in Irving, okay? I went there on Sunday, had a dope brunch, hooked me up with some drinks. They're dangerous. They got tequila, and they got some Everclear in those drinks over there at Matitos. So, Alex, I appreciate the hospitality, and again, if anybody wants to come party with me and a bunch of people in the Raider Nation, 1001 MacArthur Park on June 1st. So type that P if you want to come party with your boy and a bunch of people from the nation. Comment below if you're watching on YouTube, if you're watching on Facebook. If you're like, hey, Mitch, I was taking a drink during that entire segment and you missed it, slide in my DMs. I will literally send you the address. I'm actually going to be there again this weekend with some friends. So if you guys want to party with me at any time, you know I'm always down to get down, especially with the loyal nation here. So make sure you guys come out June 1st and support. Last rumor on today's Raiders report. Te'Veon Coney. And I don't know if you guys remember this. The way that I had to remember this name is Te'Veon Austin Coney Island Hot Dogs. That is 100% 4 Chucky Heads, believe it, baby. But this rumor is only 3 Chucky Heads. People are talking. This one's pretty likely. I like Coney a lot. He's a very talented linebacker out of Notre Dame. And during our entire coverage of the NFL draft, where Tom and I were sitting down, we were like, man, I can't believe this guy's still on the board. And I'm going to tip my cap to Jon Gruden and Mike Mayock for going out and signing him and being a UDFA. I predict Coney to make the roster. Straight up. I think he is a talented linebacker, average athleticism. He's still a little bit small, but he's a grinder. And you know that I love the term Gruden grinder. And you know who else loves the term Gruden grinder? Jon Gruden. And it's why he went out and got Coney. And I understand that Coney right now is our 4th linebacker on our depth chart. I think that's going to change. I think he has the best chance to make this roster out of all the UDFAs. And this dude was productive in college. I mean, 123 tackles. I don't care where you play football. 123 tackles is insane. 4 sacks, 1 INT, and 9.5 tackles for a loss. I'm excited to see what Coney can be because I also think he's going to have a little bit of a chip on his shoulder. And he should. Tom had him graded as a round 4 pick, and he went undrafted. So, will Coney make the final roster for the Oakland Raiders? I'm typing my Y. Heck, I'm typing my Y for hell yeah, because I think there's 100% chance, I shouldn't say 100%, I give it 4 Chucky Heads, 99% chance that this guy makes the Raiders' final 53 roster, but I want to know from everybody watching, will Coney make the final roster? I want you to type Y for yes, and I want you to type N for no. Make sure you guys give me a follow on IG and Twitter at Mitchell Renz 365. But make sure you guys please subscribe to youtube.com/RaidersReport, the #1 Raiders channel on YouTube. We're breaking down news, rumors, and also, where else are you guys going to get live content? Make sure you guys subscribe, youtube.com/RaidersReport. Raider Nation, what's going on? Is this the #1 Raiders channel on YouTube? For Chucky Heads, believe it, baby. And if you haven't already, subscribe right here. I'm giving you Chucky Heads, news, rumors, Raider Nation rumors. And look at this, I'm making your life easier. Check out my next video. Thanks for watching, and go Raiders.